And it's interesting because Aerosoft commented, the developer Mathis commented a little while ago about the future direction of the flight simulation hobby and why P3D it's not dead, but it's dying very quickly, and the real reason is that developers are not going to support it because the customers are not supporting it. People enjoy flying it still because it's a good platform, but one thing he said is that the sales, as soon as Microsoft announced the release date of Microsoft Flight Simulator, the sales of P3D just flatlined. People just stopped spending money in that platform altogether, and the only way now these developers are going to get revenue is to develop for the new platform. People stopped, and it's not to say nobody spent money, but very little money relative to what was being spent before has been spent in the P3D platform since Microsoft Flight Simulator released. So the customers, as much as the developers, are dictating the direction of the hobby, and the customers are saying, we want Microsoft Flight Simulator. They want to be in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So that's where the money is, and the developers, you know, most of them are they're trying to make a living out of it. You know, they love what they do, and they're trying to make a living out of it. So they're going to move in the direction of where people are willing to spend the money again. So that's where Microsoft Flight Simulator comes in. So Aerosoft is probably going to make a ton of money on the RJ just by being first to market. That is going to be huge because people have been just itching to get their hands on something. You know, like I see it on the VATSIM network. There are tons and tons of people flying Microsoft Flight Simulator. The most common aircraft types you see on the VATSIM network these days. Actually, the 777 got a real boost. You know, 2 weeks ago when PMDG launched finally their update to the 777. There's been a real boost to 777 traffic since then. But just before that, the #1 airplane flying on VATSIM was A320s, and a lot of the people were flying the A320neo and the fly-by-wire adaptation of it. That was big. Another big one was the Citation CJ4, the C25C. You see a ton of Citation CJ4 suddenly bombing around the VATSIM network, and you see a ton of TBMs. Tons of TBMs bombing around. Those are three of the most common types now on VATSIM. People are they're using Microsoft Flight Simulator, even if it's not great. They're trying to make the most of it. So now that they're going to have a real quality airplane, Aerosoft is going to sell thousands of copies on day one, if not 10,000 copies on day one, as people are just going to want to get in there. And the VATSIM network, you're going to see that the list of RJs, it's just going to be like all RJs everywhere for starting middle of March, just going every which way as people try to make the most of this new platform and a great airplane in this platform. And I will be one of the people on there. I don't know if I'll get the expansion pack necessarily, but I definitely will be hopping into the RJ550, the RJ700 to get some real world to get some real experience with a real good airplane, with a real good FMC. And I will say I tried out the A3 the fly-by-wire A320, and it's a good airplane. It's got a ways to go, and I'm not meaning that as a critique. I'm meaning it just as it's a work in progress. There's still tons of stuff that obviously they want to do and want to implement, but already it's gotten so much better. The FMS is more robust. You can change things, and the changes work. Whereas with the default airplane, if you try to change something in the flight plan halfway through the flight, it usually just breaks the flight plan. So definitely the FMC is getting better. The VNAV doesn't work yet, but that's a complicated system to try and program in. So I'll give them lots of time to do that. I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to be critical. I think where they are, and just having had like 6 months of all volunteers working on this already, they're doing well. But people are itching for this. So we'll see. Hopefully the Aerosoft airplane works. So the worst thing that could happen is if there's a lot of deal-breaking bugs in it right now. Could give Aerosoft a real black eye because people are just chomping at the bit to get on this airplane.